coverages. We let them catch rhythm. We let teams finish off quarters well. We let them score too many points in the quarters. We gotta have a conscious effort of trying to win every quarter on both ends of the floor, and we kind of play the outscore game. Too many quarters, and things like that. We gotta limit a lot of things.
Comment on your communication right now, DeMar. Pat says that's one thing that really has to improve.
Yeah, just communicating. Understanding personnel, understanding when guys running something. Where we need to be, help side. If we switching, whatever it may be. We got to be 2 steps ahead when it comes to that.
Do you feel the individual defense is good enough, and it's the team's defense that's letting you down, or?
It's a team thing. We got to be on one accord when it comes to, team defense. We can't just worry about one guy or, one guy sitting in the corner shading off his guy. It's a conscious effort to have 5 guys, on one accord, when we down there on that defense.
How much do you feel teams are, they're looking at video and they're watching what you guys aren't doing and taking advantage of that?
Yeah, and we got to learn from it. It's still early. We still got to understand, what they're exploring when it comes to us. And we got.
Are you seeing a pattern of the same things like on the defensive end from what they're doing?
Yeah, if it's screen and rolls, if it's, a lot of, especially teams like tonight, we got to understand, what they're going to look for, put us in screens, run guys off, miss the direction, screens, looking for the weak side, different things. We just got to be aware of it.
You're at a portion of your schedule where you're seeing a lot of the top teams, and you're seeing a lot of the top teams in succession, a lot of games in very few nights. Can that play into this defensive funk that you guys seem to be in?
I wouldn't make no excuse to it. At the end of the day, if it's a tough schedule, we got to learn from it. And this is the best way to learn from it, going against teams like this, understanding, we right there with them. We got to understand how to close out each quarter, try to win the last 3-4 minutes of each quarter, and go from there with it,
Tough fish.
Oh, so, it's going to come. Once it comes, once we hit that stride of understanding what we need to do defensively from that jump ball to the last second on the court, we'll be fine.
You had about 6 or 7 points below your season average. What were they doing defensively? Or was it Luke on you?
Nothing.
But you did have 7 assists, so were you looking maybe to make the extra pass?
Yeah, just looking to make an extra pass, move the ball, try, get easier looks for everybody else, understanding, teams going to collapse on me a little bit more, and it's on me to try to get everybody else involved.
You have a little stretch here. You lost 4 out of 5. You feel the team's better than that, or tough opponents?
Yeah, we a lot better than that. And, one thing for sure, we're going to turn it around. It just sucks when you lose this way. Like you said, we have one of the toughest schedules, but that's not an excuse. We got to use that to our motivation and be better.
Was it nice to be back home? And did you have any friends and family here tonight?
It's always great to be back home, playing in front of friends and family. Yes, I had a lot.
How many?
Probably 60.
Coach Casey talks about your experience along with Kyle and DeAndre in the Olympic Games and how you guys matured because of that experience. Can you talk about what you got out of that, and also maybe your camaraderie with DeAndre? I saw you guys before the game, all 3 of you guys.
Yeah, when you go to something like that, that's life-changing experience to be able to share it with somebody. You gain so much on the court, off the court, and you see DeAndre making free throws now.
And you guys are bringing what you guys learned in your maturity. You guys brought back to the team, and is that helping you guys?
Yeah, it's helping. As soon as we hit that stride with everything we learned this summer, when everybody just get on that accord, we know we can get on. We're gonna be all right.